Ah, oh, that's hot. That's hot.
Thank you guys so much for clicking on this video. My name is Andrew or Swerve, and 2025 brings a plethora of amazing films that I am just more than hyped about. As I'm sure you guys are too, I just can't wait to see some of these movies. So I thought, what better time than to make a top 10 list of my most anticipated films of the year. Now, with that being said, my list isn't the right list. I'd love to hear your guys' opinions, though, in the comments. As a reminder, guys, this is my own opinion about my top 10 favorite movies coming out this year. I'd love to hear your opinions, so if you disagree with me, let's disagree in the comments. Now, these films are going to be ranked in order from least excited to most excited, and I will give 5 honorable mentions, although those won't be in any specific order. So once again, don't forget to like and subscribe, leave a comment, and follow me on X at pooch.io to get all of my movie and YouTube updates. Starting off with the first honorable mention is Now You See Me 3. Look, I was a huge fan of the first and second movie, but I didn't necessarily think that there was time or room for a third one. And although that is how it goes sometimes, I am a little bit excited to see what they do with this, especially with the return of some of the original cast. At my next honorable mention, I have Captain America: Brave New World. Now look, I love Captain America. Honestly, that's my favorite MCU hero, but obviously things are going to be a little bit different this time. We got Anthony Mackie as Captain America, and people have just been kind of iffy about if this is going to be good or not. We know we have Harrison Ford playing Red Hulk and the President of the United States, but I'm not gonna lie, that's all I know about this movie. The trailers look like classic MCU movies like Civil War, which has me a little bit excited, but again, with such a big step in a new direction, it's hard to put it higher on my list or on my list at all. My third honorable mention is Zootopia 2. Look, guys, if you haven't noticed yet, I like kids' movies. Doesn't make me a kid, I just like movies, all right? Zootopia 1 was one of my favorite original Disney animated movies, and I'm sure it was for you guys too, because that movie was good. And the movie did leave a lot open at the end for possible more world building, more characters, and I'm just all in for it. My next honorable mention is Elio from Pixar. Look, I love Pixar and I've always stood by them. Even when they weren't making the greatest movies, I still always watch them and I love them. I think the animation of Pixar as of recently is absolutely beautiful, and the fact that this one has to do with space is gonna be good. I just know, at least the visuals will be good. And my final honorable mention is Jurassic World Rebirth. Look, I know the last 2 Jurassic World movies were not that great, but we got a new cast, we got a whole new group of people that are gonna change this. Hopefully the story will be better. Hopefully it won't just bank on CGI characters and all that. I have hope in them, and I always love when there's a new Jurassic movie coming out, because who doesn't love a dinosaur, man? Now, with all that being said, let's get into the list. Starting at number 10, I have Avatar: Fire and Ash. James Cameron is back for the 3rd Avatar movie, and I couldn't be more excited for this. When I originally watched Avatar, the first 2009 one, it was my first PG-13 movie that I've ever seen. So it'll always be memorable, and I just have so many memories of watching that film. So when the second one came out, I was obviously hyped, and I loved it. I didn't like it as much as the first one, but I thought that it expanded on the world of Pandora and this universe in just such a natural and good way. With the Sully family now coming into connection with the Fire Clan of the Na'vi, I think we're going to start seeing some crazy stuff and some crazy things in this world. I put my faith in James Cameron, all right? Number 9, I have Megan 2.0. Guys, if you have not seen the original Megan movie, please go watch that now. Or at least go watch it before you see Megan 2, obviously. It's such a good concept and such a modern concept for a horror movie. With the times we're living in, with AI taking over the internet and jobs and all of that stuff, I think this makes for a perfect horror franchise. And the only things that I can hope for is that maybe they'll go a little above and beyond with some of the stuff that goes on, some of the violence, some of the action scenes, if you know what I mean. There's only so much I could say in this video. Number 8, we have another horror movie, The Black Phone. I was not expecting to like The Black Phone as much as I did, but I absolutely loved it. The cinematography, the audio, the way this movie was shot, the actors, all of it, I just thought that it was amazing. There were some really good jump scares in here and some honest to God creepy moments with the grabber and Finney. Parts that just made me kind of curl my toes and just be like, this kid's got to get out of here. Now, I'm not quite sure what they are going to be doing with the movie differently from the other one. If it'll follow the same cast, if it'll be the same grabber. I don't know that many details, but all I could say is that I am hyped. And at the number 7 spot, guys, we have a Minecraft movie. Now, I know people are really weird about this movie. Nobody asked for a live action Minecraft movie or live action. But I mean, come on, you guys can't be that mad about it. We have Minecraft story mode, millions of animations on YouTube. If you guys wanted to see an animated Minecraft movie, you guys can go look at any of that. But I know at one point in all of our brains, we thought, what would happen if Minecraft was real, if it was realistic? And I have hope that they are going to make this movie exactly like we pictured it in our heads as kids. Obviously, there's always room for error in video game movies, and I like to have hope as of recently with Sonic and Mario and all of these great video game movies that have come out as of recently. But we're just going to have to see, guys. I mean, look, Chris Pratt and Anya Taylor-Joy, all of these names that you guys saw in the Mario movie, and that movie ended up actually being good. Go watch my video if you haven't. And up next, we have Karate Kid Legends. I'm a huge fan of this universe, and I always thought it would be a great idea to combine the Karate Kid universe with Jaden Smith and Jackie Chan into the one with Ralph Macchio and Mr. Miyagi. I don't know why I just called him by his actor's name, but you get what I mean. I always thought there was so much potential for the Karate Kid universe to take off after Cobra Kai, and once that finishes, I just know my hype levels are going to go through the roof. And I think that this final movie will put a nice bow on top and wrap up the whole thing for good. That's what I hope, at least, although I do love this whole franchise. I think it needs to stop about right now. In this one, we'll be following Jackie Chan and Daniel LaRusso. No idea if Johnny Lawrence is going to be back. I have my theories about the end of Cobra Kai, but who knows? They're probably not spoiling too much in the trailers as to not spoil the ending of Cobra Kai. And coming to my top 5, my number 5 pick for most anticipated movies is The Bad Guys 2. If you guys like this movie as much as I did, you should be hyped. It was one of those DreamWorks movies where they kind of just came out of nowhere and they just did it, and it was really good. Now, DreamWorks has been iffy a little bit lately. We know we got Puss in Boots, and that movie was great. We know we got Shrek 5 coming out as well. And then we had the not-so-good movies such as Megamind 2 and the Megamind Show. You guys know my opinion on that one. With that being said, I don't believe that they would have milked out another sequel if they didn't think they had a good direction of where this was going to go. I like the idea of the bad guys becoming good and then having to be bad for a specific reason. I think that reason was a good one. And at my number 4 spot, we have Nobody 2. Bob Odenkirk is back, and guys, I am hyped for this one. The first Nobody movie was just such a good time. I thought it was going to be a little bit weird. You know, we had Bob Odenkirk. People only know him from the Breaking Bad universe, not really much else. And you put him in this position of a mild-mannered father who returns to his former life from being an assassin. Then his family becomes the target of a crime lord, and it's just a good, bloody time. This movie's great. The action scenes are intense, insane. It's like that bus fight scene from from Shang-Chi, but the whole movie, and it's rated R. At my number 3 spot, we have Five Nights at Freddy's 2. You're hearing it now, guys. I am a huge fan of the games. I used to play them a lot when I was younger. I watched a lot of videos about them, and I'm just a big fan of the lore. So when the original movie came out, I was skeptical. It was a video game movie, and I didn't like it that much.
What the f is this piece of sh?
I can't even sugarcoat it. I really was disappointed in the first Five Nights at Freddy's movie. But at the same time, there wasn't really a lot of story to work off of the first game anyways. And the second game is really when all of the lore and the story started to fall into place. So I have faith that Amatami, the returning director for the sequel, will be listening to the fans and the feedback from the original movie. Hopefully, as we know so far, they're going to make it more scary, hopefully less goofy, and hopefully better story. That's all you could hope for. And at our number 2 spot, we have Fantastic Four: First Steps. Guys, don't be mad at me, but I have never seen a single Fantastic Four movie. But I am a huge fan of the Fantastic Four. I think that they are an entertaining and very fun group of superheroes. And I think the fact that they're coming to the MCU with the band, with the cast that we have for these characters, I think it is just set up for success. With Vanessa Kirby as Sue Storm, Joseph Quinn as Johnny Storm, or the Human Torch, Ebon Moss as The Thing, and finally Pedro Pascal as Mr. Fantastic. Now, although I did hear stories of maybe Galactus coming to this movie and this being set in a second universe, it has me a little bit skeptical. I'm still excited though. And coming in at my number 1 spot, guys, obviously you probably saw this coming, it is Superman. Now, myself being from Cleveland, this was filmed where I live, as was the first Avengers movie, and something inside me tells me that those two might correlate a little bit, being filmed in Cleveland. All jokes aside, obviously that's superstitious, but what's not a joke is that Superman and the DCU needed a fresh reboot. I think where they were going with the DCEU was just really not great. I liked Superman in that universe, but that's really about it. I thought the Flash movie was absolutely atrocious. The original Justice League, laughable. And both Aquaman movies were just alright. So with this fresh new start, what better superhero than the face of the DCU himself, Clark Kent, Superman, played by David Cornsweet. I'm excited. Are you guys? Now with that being said, guys, that is the end of my list. Like I said, this is my opinion, it's my list. If you have your own opinion, I'd love to hear it in the comments. You may disagree with me. Please do that down there, alright? Remember to follow me on X at pooch.io to get all of my movie updates and opinions. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.